How are you guys doing today? Leo here. Good to see y'all again. You don't know, I've been trapped under the house for 2 days. Literally, little crawl space about that high. Wasn't even big enough to get my head through. Had to cut one of the house piers out, put one on either side, crawl through it, stopped up kitchen sink drain. Wouldn't you know it, worst place you could possibly imagine, like 35 feet back through a little itty bitty crawl space. Wonderful, wonderful. Took me 2 days, but I got it. Anyway, I'm out today. I tell you the truth, I just wanted to get out and get some fresh air, get out of the house, well, out from under the house for a minute. I'm out to here on Trail 10. This is the Hatfield-McCoy Trail System on Buffalo Mountain Trail, and this is just outside Williamson on Trail 10. Just, you can see the sign right there, 10, comes up out of town. Got a little mini adventure for you guys today, we'll call it. Don't really have time for, like a big hunt or anything like that, but I wanted to get out and, take y'all for a ride anyway. Figured this is as good a spot as any to start it. I was going to open it down by, ouch, yellow jacket just got me on the neck. Little devils. You believe this? Every stinking video. Anyway, for I was very rudely interrupted, no doubt. Very rudely interrupted. Anyway, just outside of Williamson, and I'm looking for something from way back, from when I was a little kid. I can remember long before this was the Hatfield-McCoy Trail System, my Uncle Sonny used to take me up here on this mountain, and we'd go squirrel hunting and stuff like that. And there's a place up here, it's called Death Rock. I've been there many times, and shown some of you, but it's on the way, so I figure I'll stop there on the way and show you. It's unbelievably beautiful place. But what I'm looking for is, do you guys remember back in the day, the old TV lines, right? You had cable. Before that, you had rabbit ears. You remember them? You remember ribbon wire? Looks like little ladders, and they would run, people would run cables with it. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for some old satellite dishes. Here comes some ATVs or something, side by side. Sounds like Pioneer, maybe. No. Oh, way wrong. Way wrong. Moto. Anyway. What I'm looking for is a little place way back on the mountain. It's called Satellite Ridge, where back in the day, the cable company used to have satellites up there, and that is how they would do, TV lines. Let me get back out of this guy's way. He's maybe wanting to come over here in the mud. I'll be right back. Okay, they were looking for the swing at Death Rock. You can go either way. Either way will get you there, but this one's easier. You've only got one turn. Top of the hill, turn left. This one you got left, right, then another left. Yeah, this only has one turn. Anyway, a company called Cox Cable had these massive satellite dishes way back up here on the hill, and I haven't seen them. I've seen them before, but it's been years, since I've been up there. And I thought, since I didn't have a whole lot of time today, why not just run up there and show you guys that? Should be really cool, really cool little ride. It's only, as the crow flies, straight line, as the crow flies from town to Satellite Ridge, where I'm going, is only, I think, 1.5 miles, but it's about 1,000 feet up. And I know that may not sound like, that much to, you guys out in the Rockies, or some places like that. Y'all got some big mountains. We do have more of them, though. We do have more of them. I cross 3 mountains going to my bathroom every day. So, yeah. But anyway, we're going to head up here in a second, and I'm just going to go cruise up, and we'll show you guys Death Rock on the way, the swing. That's where those folks were just headed. It's what they were looking for. But it's a well-known trail riding destination, real beautiful. You can see for about 30 miles from up there. But anyway, we'll stop there and head on up to Satellite Ridge and see if we can find anything left from these massive satellite dishes that used to be up there in yesteryear. Nice little shady spot. Pretty place. We're almost there. We got a whole bunch more up to do, but we're getting there. From here, I'll probably have to turn the camera off and use both hands for the ATV. I don't have power steering. And that's a little bit, that's not exactly one-handed trail riding right there. So anyhow, thought I'd video what I could, you know, the level section, and kind of show y'all some of the place. But I guess I better shut the camera off and do the, you know, harder two-handed section. We'll call it that. It's not real difficult, but you know, no power steering, one hand, probably not a good idea. Okay, now this right here is Death Rock and the Almost Heaven swing. Y'all may have seen there's several of these throughout the state, and if you go to any one of them and scan the little barcode with your phone, it'll give you directions to the rest of them. And they put these up in scenic places and, you know, just pretty places, historic places all over the state of West Virginia. And Death Rock got one. Now there's, you know, all kinds of legends about this place and this cliff, and I've covered a lot of them over the years. Yeah, we used to camp here when I was a little kid. But just check out that view. Look at that. Is that not pretty? When I was little, I used to live right over here. Now I am on the other side of that mountain right there. Beautiful place, isn't it? I've been up here during the winter, during the snow, and I sat up here one time for like 45 minutes waiting for a hole in the clouds, just to get the right picture. Just had a hole in the clouds and snow everywhere and sun, you know, just shining right straight down on the town. It was beautiful. It's a really cool picture. Anyway, where we're going is still on up. I'm not making real good time. I've run into a couple groups of trail riders here and there, and, you know, giving directions and, you know, the asking questions and, you know, that sort of thing. And you know me, I don't mind. I sure tell them, you know, where all this is and point out, you know, they're looking for playing in the mud hole. I know where a really good one is, you know, and give them directions to it. But anyway, I guess I need to get out here. I've still got to go on up. I'm not high enough yet. We've still got to go higher. The Satellite Ridge is on up. Anyway, I guess you hate to leave such a pretty sight, isn't it? Beautiful, isn't it? Okay, moving on. Well, I found the first one. Still seems to be standing after all these years. I mean, it's probably been our, what, 50 years, give or take? An old block building. You can see remnants from what used to be some kind of big tower right there. Looks like you could just put a roof on this and have you a nice little shed, don't it? All it needs is a roof. The walls are in great shape. Okay, one crack. We can fill that in though. Look, somebody's had a little fire up here. Like somebody may have camped out here or something. Imagine that. Wasn't me. I'm totally innocent this time. Usually not, but this time I am. That thing is huge though. Now there's more of them too. This trail right here goes on out through there. I just came up this one. I brought Tony Moran up here. I remember bringing him up here. Michael Myers from Halloween. Yeah, I remember bringing him up here. My Can-Am. Looks like it was part of some sort of tower, doesn't it? Let's figure we'd get out and explore just a little bit before it gets too dark. Have to head home in a while. Another yellow jacket nest. Don't seem to be any shortage of those. Yeah, we are up on top of a mountain. You just can't see it for the trees, but we are definitely up there. All right. One of them found. There's one. It looks like this. Yeah, it did. There's something. The rest of this thing looks like there's a fiberglass thing right here. And that sat up on it. Like it's been a long time since that thing stood. The trees are way up there. Been a while since this tower was up, wasn't it? That's Death Rock right here, and the swing is right back down that way. By the way, you see this rock sticking out right here? If you guys come up here, you be careful. I didn't see any today, but there's been a rattlesnake down there since I was a little bitty kid underneath that rock. So, yeah, just saying. If you don't like those kinds of things, you may want to avoid that particular spot. All kinds of old wires laying around. Old cables. Wonder how long this stuff's been here. Look at the vine growing through it. It's like that vine's been here for 20 years, don't it? Huge. That thing's got to be 25, 30 feet. Anyway, all right. Let's see if we can get through the trail. We'll head on up this way. I don't even know if I can get through or not. Like I said, I haven't been up there in years. I was at this point, maybe I'm going to say 3 years ago. I've been down there at Death Rock, but I haven't been up through this way in a long time. We'll run up through there. I've been up there when probably 2018, 19, something like that. So we'll run on up and see what we can see and see if we can find the rest of these old ruins. This one's a narrow little trail right on a skinny ridge line. In case anybody's curious why it's called Satellite Ridge, notice both sides. Straight down, straight down. Only one way to go. Oh, and we ain't gonna make it. Looky here, looky here. Looky here. All we're gonna find is one. Or maybe not. Let's see. Let's just see. I don't think that we are that far. And I have never been one to give up real easily. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to walk the rest of the way if I can and see if I can't find these old dishes. Very tight little trail, isn't it? Alright, that big puppy right there. That's going to take a good size, well, I don't know, 18-inch bar to go through that. Not back there, though. Alright, from here we're on foot. so be it. It's wild. I can see mountains off in the distance on both sides. There's a very skinny little ridge line. Acorns all over the place. Good place to be a squirrel, huh? And I didn't remember that there was a hill, to be honest. There's always a hill. Surveying mark. Check out the size of those rocks. You hate to be a dozer operator up here on this little skinny mountain, sitting sideways. You can tell the angle right there. That's steep, you know, straight down on both sides. Imagine you're the dozer operator up here pushing these giant rocks around because you got to get up here. I bet that was a wild ride. I see one. In one of the old buildings, there's a dish. There's another one. There they are. We found them. Man, that is really up here on a mountain, ain't it? And ride an ATV till you can't get no higher, and then get off and walk the rest of the way. I'm looking for snakes. In case anybody's wondering why I stopped waving the camera. Looking for copperheads. Rattlesnakes will give you a heads up. Copperheads, not so much. They just look like that. Exactly like that. Wonder what it was used for. Well, I mean, obviously for some sort of, you know, communications. You know, big breaker box right there. Looks like there's been a fire. You can see burned trees leaning up against the block, cracking it too. Look at that. An old locker. Guess this would keep your stuff up here. EMTMON. Incorporated. Looks like a high school locker to me. All the breeze feels better outside. Okay. Big satellite dishes on the hill. A whole bunch of them. Seemed like I was only thinking there was a couple. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from right here. 5 old satellite dishes. Wow, that one's falling apart. Wow, look at that. Some kind of radio antenna has fallen right over top of them. You can see where it smashed that one, smashed this one. It ends right there. So I guess I see why they put these up on top of mountains. But I mean, look at that tree there. Look at this. Now you know that tree wasn't right in front of this satellite dish when this dish was put here. You know it was cleared off. Look at the size of that tree. Remember you had ABC, NBC, and CBS. Had 3 channels. And that's what this was. And then later, cable came along. You had, 2 through 36. And had the little cable boxes. And then cable-ready TVs. And now you've got a million. And then now YouTube comes along and changes everything. And makes all of it obsolete. Including, which this already was. But YouTube comes along and makes cable and everything else all obsolete. Streaming. You can watch what you want, when you want. Don't need a DVR, don't need nothing. Just turn it on, hit play. This is how it was done. Back in the day, they'd have these great big huge satellite dishes. And like I said, you guys remember that old ribbon wire? It looked like a ladder. It had 2 strands, and there was little connectors going all the way down it. And that's what this was. That's how you did TV back then. It's in a really interesting place, isn't it? Way back up on top of a mountain. I am right at 1,1700 feet above sea level. Which, like I said, it's not real high compared to a lot of places, but, coming up from the river all in one shot, that's pretty, through this kind of terrain. Yeah. That looks cool though. You can see the little knob was cleared off and prepared, and they probably added this one here and then maybe added the other one down there. That's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them so far. Maybe, I don't remember if there was any more on out here or not. I've been out there, but like I said, it's been a long time since I've been out that way. Really long time. Brings back a lot of memories though, coming up here. Doing tours up here and all the way back to when I was a little bitty kid going squirrel hunting with my Uncle Sonny. Brings back a lot of memories from many, many, many years too. But yeah, we made it. Top of the mountain. So, I guess once you've made it to the top of the mountain, there's only one thing to do. Can't stay. So I guess go back down the mountain is the next option. Look at that though. You can see red lights right here on the top of it when it was standing. Presumably, helicopters could see the tower. The red lights flashing. And there's a whole bunch of dishes on the tower. But she's all laid down now. Seemed like you could reuse that stuff for, I don't know, cell towers or something. Alright, I'm gonna take me a 5 and just enjoy for just a minute and then head back down. Just because it's nice and cool up here and shady and pretty, I think I'm just gonna soak a little bit of it up just for a second and then start back down. And get some pictures too. I hear a squirrel cutting up there somewhere. That means chewing his way through the hull of an acorn or something to get inside of it, for those of you who don't, who don't squirrel. So I don't hunt them anymore. I don't like the taste of them, so don't eat them, don't hunt them. Nowadays I just shoot squirrels with a GoPro. They don't seem to be concerned with me. I still hear him. He's up in here somewhere. He don't seem to be too concerned with the sound, does he? Look at that, how steep. Straight down. Both sides. Some big old rocks. I imagine those were probably in the middle of the trail. You know, on the middle of the ridge. I'd say they probably just shoved all them over with a dozer. Places like this, you know, you kind of try to keep an eye out for places that might have been really good ambush spots if you were hunting. You know, Native Americans may have used those spots. You might find some arrowheads or something. You never can tell. You never know what you'll find, you know. I mean, it's the woods. You would think it'd just be trees and grass and dirt, but nope. Everything in the world. How steep. Going back down. I don't know if the camera's doing this justice or not. It's a lot easier going down than it was coming up, though, I'll tell you that much. It's got to take short steps going down. The only difference. Now, all it takes is one little stick, you know, to roll under your foot. And if you take little short steps, the chances of you landing on your other foot are much better. If you take longer steps and one rolls, you roll on a stick or a rock or something, you're going down hard. Looks like it's been burned on it, black. Probably a forest fire. I see black wood up here, burned wood, and over there. Forest fire, no doubt. Many years ago, though. Getting a little later in the day on me. I ain't that far from the house, but I am way up on top of a totally different mountain. Look at that, you can see another mountain off in the distance that's actually a little bit lower than the one I'm on. Very pretty place, very peaceful. Of course, I guess places like this, that's, you know, it's kind of what they do, ain't it? Kind of like a job. They're very peaceful, and they're good at it too. There's a gas line here too. I just noticed that. So that means there's a gas well on up there, on out through there. That would mean they'll have to clear this trail sooner or later to get to the gas well. Because sooner or later, they require maintenance. So I guess that's probably why some of these old ones are cut. You know, it's that gas company coming up through here to maintain their well. I thought that was weird though. Just in the middle of nowhere, a surveying stake. Just out on top of a ridge, on top of a mountain, in the middle of nowhere. Kind of a random place for it to be. And I came up longer, further than I thought, apparently. Look at that. Big old dead tree. Like he's been there a while, don't he? I can see Death Rock Trail down here. One going out the other way. It's a good little walk. Do you good after being trapped under the house for a couple days. Feels a little bit less confining, a little less restraining. Put it that way. Little pretty maple over there. Turning orange already. Won't be long. Fall will be here soon. And these mountains will change into all kinds of crazy colors. Reds and golds and all kinds of stuff. Very beautiful place in the fall. I guess technically speaking, it's not bad in the summer. But fall and winter's my favorite. You can get out and climb. It's not hot. You know, you can go places and do things, and you don't have vegetation and bugs and bees and snakes, and don't have any of that stuff to worry about. You just go and don't worry about none of it. And then here's the big down tree. An ATV is just past it. I see my wheel. Looks like my ATV stayed here and waited on me anyway. Oh, look at that one. Just imagine a big bulldozer shoving that over here, over the side of that hill, and you're in that dozer, kind of wondering if you're going too. That'll be a wild job. Probably fun though. Down under that one. And we are back. Now, how far do I have to back out of here before I can turn? Pretty good ways. Got to back all the way out the ridge line before I can turn. Look at that. That one burned, didn't he? From the inside. And then broke clean off and then got cut. That's gas well guys too. It looks old, but there's all kinds of sawdust in there. Looks like an old cut though. That is an old cut. Alright, let's get loaded back up on the ATV, get flipped around, and we'll start back down the hill. See you guys in a second. Check that out. Sunset down in the valley. It's all shady, getting ready for dusk. All right, down in town you can see all the shadows, and look up here. Sun's still out, still bright, still beautiful. I always thought that was one strange thing that I've noticed about, you know, about living here versus say living in Ohio, you know, where everything is flat. You would think if you live somewhere flat, sunset is the same time for everybody. If you live here, sunset on a mountain is like an hour later than it is in the valley if you're on top of one of the peaks. I always thought that was kind of weird. You know, you're out, Heather's, you know, you tell Heather you'll be home at sunset and you're up on top of a mountain somewhere, and yeah, she thinks you're late and you're up on a mountain and it's still sunny, you know, so you're thinking. I always thought that was cool though, back when I was doing tours. Sunset and sunset on the mountain and sunset in the valley are two totally different things. Interesting, huh? Alright, that's just about it. Now I hear a train down there. Hear a train down in town. Anyway guys, I guess I'm going to get on out of here. It's just about sunset. whether you're in town or up on a mountain. It's about sunset either way, I guess. It's getting pretty close. So I guess I better get on out of here and head on back toward the house and get ready for tomorrow. We've got some big plans for tomorrow, so we're going to be back to work. You know how it is. Fun, fun, fun. All right, we'll see you guys a little bit later. I hope you enjoyed our little trip up to Satellite Ridge today. You know, check out some of the scenery, some of the beautiful West Virginia mountain scenery, that sort of thing. And hopefully the company wasn't too bad. But anyway, we will see you guys next time. Y'all have a really good day. And I guess that's about it, isn't it? One thing to say now. Leo out. See you guys later.